I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and we're starting the third round of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships 2024. And with me to bring you the action and the commentary is one of your favorite special guests, Carcassonne master and chess author Raf Mesotin, also known as Crafty Raf. Hi, Raf.
Hi, Alexey. Thank you for having me again.
It's certainly a great pleasure to have you. A bit of a novelty for our stream. We started on time. Actually, technically, we even started 15 seconds early, so my viewers didn't see that coming. I would expect. We will be watching Guatemala versus Slovakia. So both of these teams have had a rough championship start. I think both of the teams have had 2 losses so far. Let's actually have a look at the classification to double check. So Guatemala, I believe, I wrote to lost to Croatia and to Hungary, if I'm not mistaken, and Slovakia lost to Chile yesterday. Not yesterday, but last week, and Slovakia lost to somebody else. I don't remember to whom exactly. But they will be looking to secure their first win. And I wonder, Raf, so you must have had a bit of experience with both of these teams. Who do you think is stronger? Who do you think is more likely to win today?
I think Slovakia is definitely the team that has the best chance today. I think with Mate 11, Matisek, Radohu, 3 very decent players. On the other end, Guatemala, the underdog, you never know what can happen. They have a strong 5th player, Lakos. The other people I don't know really, but they can surprise us.
Yeah, I would expect so. Actually, I think it's going to be quite a tight match. So we agreed beforehand that we're going to be following board number 5. Lakos against Radajo, precisely because the Guatemalan captain is the player who has the most chances of taking down one of the 2 Slovakian experts. On board 2, I think Mate Tabak, who has quite the pedigree in competitive Carcassonne, in all likelihood will defeat Arlock 94. At least Arlock 94 would need quite a lot of inspiration to try and overcome such a powerhouse. But on the other 3 tables, I think everything is completely up for grabs. We're going to expect 3 really equal duels, and I hope to have a look at Forkester and Rene Bursare and Illusions, at least for a little bit in the stream. Oh, good to see that we have already a lot of viewers. Hi Noyo, hi Helge. Well, okay, Crafty, you are already here. Hi Pichan, hi Ian, hi Edgar, hi Douglas, hi Glovier, hi Ramses, and hi Max. So I see most of my viewers are rooting for Guatemala. Is there anything who are rooting for Slovakia as well? I would need to know just to keep things balanced. Hi Rene, hi La Casa del Sons. Also, by the way, if you have any questions for Craft Giraffe, make sure to leave them in the chat when we're going to answer. So I guess one question to you, Crafty, would be, are we going to see any streams from you coming anytime soon? Because you streamed last year on, well, not on YouTube, but somewhere else where we can't say. And
Okay.
also you've been making a lot of strategy videos. I remember your intuition practice series in particular. So are we going to see some Carcassonne content coming up from you anytime soon, or are you on a hiatus?
Yeah, just to be clear, I streamed on that other platform, but I transferred those videos to YouTube as well, so you can also watch them there. I'm not planning to stream this World Championship because I'm very busy with other stuff. I have a new job since a few months, which makes me a very busy man. And I also follow a data scientist course. I have exams in a few weeks. So yeah, I'm studying right now, and this is an evening to relax for me and to co-commentate. But I'm not streaming this World Championship. But I did not give up on streaming in general. I want to stream, for example, my games in the in the championship I'm participating in, the Spreaders of the Game edition. I don't know what's the correct title of it. I played against you, Alexey, the first duel. I lost, of course, but I haven't played any other matches yet. So I have to catch up there to, yeah, it's basically about one duel a month, and I'm 3, 4, 5 months behind. So I want to catch up on that one and also stream my games there.
Well, certainly good luck in all of these endeavors, especially with the streaming. Yeah, job exam, that's all interesting, but like the streaming is the number one thing that I care about, of course. Well, it is now 2000 UTC. Hi, Carquinyoles, and we are going to start watching. Oh, look at this! Lakos turned expert over 500 rating. This is nice. Actually, I think now Guatemala has a really good chance because of this. It's just the way the boards have been, the way the pairings work. I think this is quite advantageous. The way the board game arena system works is not advantageous because we need to refresh the page multiple times. Ramses is wishing best wishes to you in the exams, Raf.
Thank you.
So you know. And they still have not started. Radohu still hasn't joined. So we will need to wait for 30 more seconds or so. I don't want to quite devolve into following another game, because I really didn't want to start with this. Oh, look, by the way, it might look impressive that Lakos just won a game with 300 points or something, but it was a practice game, and I'm pretty sure it was a game with expansions. Actually, have a look at his recent game history, like win against iCube, one of the Spanish experts from the Spanish team, quite experienced. Win against somebody from Team Poland, whom we witnessed yesterday in Poland's spectacular 4-1 win against Argentina. Okay, this game actually hasn't started, so I believe that maybe we will have to watch somebody else.
I'm not sure why it hasn't started yet. Now it has, I think.
Oh, it has, yeah? Okay, so...
Um,
yeah, there we go. Radoho has joined with an impressive 637 rating, so in the top 100, but I think the Guatemalan player is in excellent shape to actually put up a fight. And better than being in excellent shape is being the person to draw the first monastery. The Guatemalan player with the red meeples a 2-point monastery. Radohu gets a crossroads and puts his green meeple on a 2-point road. Lycos adds 1 more point to his monastery and starts a potential loop road as Radohu decides to take 2 points, get the first bit on the scoreboard, and also to restrict a city cap. And this already yields results because Lycos cannot use this empty city cap. Instead, Lycos is first to start an empty city right near his monastery. Now cleans off another city cap next to his monastery, takes 4 points. This monastery is already worth 7 points. Radoho has a monastery which is worth 3 points and controls this and this meeple. Both players are playing really fast as the moves are sort of kind of obvious. Radoho claims 2 points for roads, but also makes it harder for Lycos to continue his road. And now there's the first big decision of the game, which Lycos makes very quickly. He decides not to meeple the city cap, not to restrict his own road, but Radohu just restricts his road for him. And Red will have trouble getting this meeple back, but Red is not worried about this too much because he gets a tile that gives him 4 points for a city. Now 8 points on the scoreboard for Lycos. Radohu adds an extender tile to the bottom. And Lycos gets a curve, and finally it's something... Ooh, this is actually an interesting move. I like it. So the idea behind this move is to break the 5-point loop road that Green was creating over here. So that's pretty nice.
Yes, very nice.
Oh, but
Very
Radojo
nice.
gets another monastery and stacks them immediately and starts two monasteries nearby. Lycos gets a city cap and an 8-point city and drops the first farmer of the game and also creates an attacking platform against Radojo's city. Radojo continues his city. Will he drop a farmer though? It looks a little bit risky, but he is thinking about it. He decided not to do it. Lycos gets a city cap, but he cannot attack Radojo's city, so he just instead finishes a city of his own. Gets 20 points of the scoreboard now. Radojo, with a point scoring tile, decides to simply take 2 points for a road.
Yes, I think I would have dropped a farmer there in the south. Because still 3 tiles available if red tried to block. And in order to block the connection to the fields, red also had to add a point to green, to the monastery. So
yeah, I have to agree. I think maybe the Slovak player is being a bit excessively cautious here, but in the meantime we have some interesting developments too. So the city that the Slovak player was about to finish got actually disrupted by Lyko, so that was a very nice move just in time. Trying to break that city, and Lycos will now be able to block it completely. Beautiful sequence by the Guatemalan player, just as Radojo drew the tile that would have fit into the square and would have given him 20 points for that city, but instead Radojo just needs to be happy with a 4-point city cap, which he scored next to his monastery, dropped to farmer, which is pretty standard there. Now he's going to draw another monastery, meeple it, and connect. Lycos now decided to finish his monastery, which I wouldn't have done. I think it was a little bit impatient, even though I understand the reasoning behind this. Radojo now gets a fantastic tile to start a new city and also indirectly continue to his road. So Lycos presumably is going to block. I like this block over here because there are only 4 crossroads remaining. And the quadruple crossroads has already gone out. As Radojo finishes a city on the left and gets 4 points at the scoreboard, he actually creates a blocking platform against 2 of his meeples, and Lycos will surely immediately use this. There are now no tiles that left into this square, and with this one move, Lycos killed off this meeple, and now this position looks very, very good for the play with the red meeples. Lycos with a city cap, looking to continue his road, which actually I think is not a good move because it only adds 3 points to the road, whereas he could have gotten a better use of this tile either by finishing his city or by starting a new one. Lycos getting a crossroad tile, probably going to score 3 points over here. This is exactly what he does, the highest point scoring move. He now has 32 points, which is twice as many as Radojo has. Radojo has a straight line, uses a blocking move to annoy, as Crafty Raf likes to use. I very much like how you like the use of the word annoy. It's so lovely. It's just yeah, so to annoy this red's meeple, but red just doesn't care. Red just keeps hammering quick points and quick points and quick points. 3 points at the bottom. Lycos gets a triple city tile, decides to simply start a new city, which is quite aggressive, but I like it. There's still plenty of Dorito tiles which you can use to build around. He decides to even build a new city with a triple city. Radojo starts a blocking attack against Lycos' city. He decides not to continue with a blocking attack. Instead, he chooses to continue the city on his own. Lycos gets a monastery tile. Will he go over here for a 6-point monastery? Or will he just go here for a 6-point monastery? Or will he decide to take 3 points for a road over here at the expense of the security of his city? Or will he do something else? Raf, can you help us out? What would you do as the play with the red meeples here?
I would take a monastery at left, I think. Or maybe at top. No, I liked the one at left more. Taking 2 points when you have 3 meeples, I think you could have had more points when you take the monastery. But I'm in most cases too greedy with my meeples and with my points, so maybe it's good to watch other players be careful with their meeples.
Yeah, and well, Lycos went extra conservative, extra careful with his meeples. Do let me know in the chat, has the sound become better now? I tried to make some adjustments. 'Cause it's also very, very weird. Like on my end, it shows up like as if I am super loud if I just look at the charts, but everybody's saying is that I'm actually too quiet.
Meanwhile, two of Red's meeples are blocked. The meeple, yeah, this big city is a threat for sure. Green has to do something about it, but get some meeple back now. Things are about equal on the scoreboard, but I don't dislike Green here, to be honest. Even though he has 4 meeples blocked, 1 in the field and 3 on other features. Yeah, attacking the field at the left now of Red. Let me do a quick count of points.
Good luck with that. The game is so fast, but I will try to keep talking whilst you do this. Like us, no, Radohu drops a second farmer. Suddenly there's a 12-point farmer on the left because the players just kept hammering quick points with city cap. Like us now creates a big threat at the bottom to oh, and look at this, he would have finished his city, but Radohu just in time drew a tile to prolong his city and delay its completion. Like us still insisting on trying to finish its city, but now Radohu is still trying to delay or prevent its completion. I think it's gonna work because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 2 Dorito tiles are remaining, or should I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And well, 1 big city tile.
1 big city tile as well. Yeah, actually, if I were Radohu, I think I would have just placed my meeple there because Lycos can still renew the threat of completing the city, but not with this tile. Radohu now going to probably take over the fields, and this field... No, he decides not to do that. I don't think... Ah, that makes sense. He's trying to now connect his bottom meeple into the field because it now requires 2 tiles. So this move from Lycos was a blocking move to restrict this square that Radohu can't use anymore. Radohu now connects from the top, which is good news for the Slovak fans. This farmer is now worth 15 points, and green is 1 tile away from connecting here. Lycos uses the monastery tile as a farming tile, decides not to go for the 8-point monastery. Here I have to agree. Radohu with a city cap, maybe thinking of some sort of restriction move. Maybe he can go over here. And this is exactly what he does. But Lycos has another connection platform on the right, which is why these farmers are so advantageous. It was 2 threats at once. Lycos has a threat here, and it had a threat here.
It's not enough. Green needs 5 more points or so. Or 8 now, I think. Yeah, and he would have connected at the bottom. I think it was a mistake to not meeple that Dorito at the bottom.
But you see, this is what happens for meeple shortage, right? Because just Green decided that he wanted to have a meeple for all kinds of things. But the reason why meeple had a meeple shortage is because of this blocked square earlier on. Like this blocked monastery and this blocked road. This is what ended up hurting the Slovak player. And I do believe that we're about to see a bit of an upset here, as in just 13 minutes... Lycos defeats the second highest rated player in Slovakia and one of the top 100 board game arena players. Well, are we going to hear the Guatemalan anthem in about half an hour? It's certainly headed that way.
Yeah, and if you're now on the losing side, if you win that quickly, everything is good. But if you lose that quickly, you have to calm down. You have to think more, I think. Slow down your game and make a little bit more accurate moves, maybe. I didn't see any very bad mistakes, but still, when you think about for a minute, in some situations, you come up with a better plan. And yeah.
Exactly. So I also didn't see like any blatant mistakes from the parts of Radohu, but this game is not just about not making mistakes. Like, it's about recognizing that you're behind and maybe trying some sort of risk. Maybe there was a way to find and create a connection for the field and drop a third farmer somewhere. Maybe, as you said, it was actually good to try and connect to that ruin at the bottom. Or try to do something else. Just recognize that this game is not just about scoring points, but actually coming with a concrete win plan. Lycos had a concrete win plan. He blocked 2 meeples now, played his meeple advantage, created threats of completing cities and building farms, and this is what paid off. So great performance from the Guatemalan player, and I suggest that we simply continue with the same duel. I've been in other streams. I've been jumping around a little bit, but I just prefer to mix it up and just focus on my duel instead. And look at this, Lycos gets the monastery as the first tile again, except of course Lycos is now the second player as Radohu starts a city at the top. Ooh, interesting. Wait, what was that?
You should always meeple that one.
Yeah, I should always meeple that one. So I think this was actually quite a big opening mistake here from Radohu. Just generally, if inexperienced players are watching this, if you're doubting whether to place the meeple on a feature or not, if that's the opening of the game, you probably should place a meeple. And because as a result, Lycos is the one who picked up this juicy looking city, and even though Green will be able to attack the city later, it's just the fact that Lycos will be able to create threats that will be annoying for the Slovak player. In the meantime, the Guatemalan manages to equalize the Slovak city, so no advantage for Green just yet. Green now uses a juicy shielded tile to connect to the city, and Lycos gets a bit of an advantage, 4 points on the scoreboard, 16 in total. Meeple back, developing his monastery. Radohu with the monastery tile decides where to place it. So the monastery should be meepled, but it's a question whether he should take this 4-point spot over here or this 5-point spot over here and just help out his opponent a little bit. He goes for the 5-point spot, which I rather like. Lycos with a city cap and now starting a big field fight. He wants to get a majority of 2 meeples against 1 meeple of Radohu. So now Radohu is going to have second thoughts about connecting to his city, which is why he doesn't do it, but he drops a farmer. A bit unexpected move here from the Slovak player, maybe being a little bit spewy with the shielded tile. On the other hand, the shielded tile goes to the next monastery, and so if Radohu manages to be the first one to draw a city tile next, he'll be able to go over here and start a new city. So this is lovely, lovely, lovely for this Slovak player, Lycos, with a great monastery tile, which is asking to be put over here, but he might be tempted into a move like this or a move like this simply for the purpose of controlling his opponent's feature, and he goes for this, which I still like, controlling both Radohu's city and the empty city cap, which is lying around in the Slovak player's field. Strong play here. Okay, so now finally the Slovak player cannot wait. He decided to connect the 2 cities, and now immediately Lycos also reconnects, having a majority on this city. And again, Radohu's having meeple troubles. He can't re-attack the city, so he's just forced to somehow delay its completion. But the Guatemalan player is saying, I don't have to complete this city. I only have to make sure that it's a big ruin and that it scores enough points. Radohu, again, not finding a productive use for this tile, simply goes for the blocking attack, but I don't think that the Guatemalan is going to care much about being blocked. Straight road for the Slovak. Ooh, actually difficult tile to use. Any idea what to do with that, Crafty?
Yeah, the big city bottom left, I want to say a bit earlier, I would have taken my monastery meeple back, because that also makes the city quite unfinishable in the short term, and you have time later to re-attack that city, I think. And now, yeah, if you're completing your monastery, you're also adding a point to the big city, but Green is in meeple trouble here, and that's why it's hard for him now to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. I have to agree here. That's an excellent spot. Instead of going for this block. He should have gone over here. And now actually his monastery is threatened because if red puts a road over here, which he I think should have done, then this meeple is going to be problematic. Well, Radojo at the very least is still ahead on the scoreboard as he scores a 4-point city, which was kindly left there by Lycos. And look at this, Lycos gets a fantastic tile, 3 points for a road and the expansion of a ruin. Now Radojo will be forced to attack the ruin, but not yet, as he picks up the empty city cap on his field. Now the field is scoring already 9 points, and this early farmer now looks smart, but Lycos keeps just growing and growing his ruin. And actually, it's now a dangerous situation because he's now 1 tile away from completely securing his ruin. If he just goes over here, or over here maybe, he'll eliminate the connection, the one and only connection platform to this ruin. And if he goes like over here, this ruin will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, like 17 points. And now the ruin is 19 points as Radojo simply decides to get a meeple back. But this ruin is just so hard to attack. However, maybe Radojo won't have to do it because he's now 16 points ahead on the scoreboard. Now scores 3 points for the road, but temporarily frees up Lycos' meeple, preparing to in the future finish his own monastery. Very dynamic, very fast-paced game. Lycos gets a city cap. What is going to do with it?
Difficult to say. He doesn't have a field. Yeah, I would not place it in the field of my opponents.
Exactly.
I think I would have created a counter field maybe at the top.
Yep. I like the counter field at the top. I think this city should have belonged here. I think it's like a bit of a short-term thinking. Oh, I'm going to add 1 point to the monastery. But you can do it later. It's just 2 squares. You're going to complete these 2 squares. But it totally works out as he drops the farmer. And now he'll be able to connect with Tempo. So who are we to criticize the Guatemalan player for nothing? He can actually now drop more farmers if he wants. He can now like go over here, drop a farmer, have a curve, have another curve, and just completely obliterate his opponent. But this is not what happens, as he simply adds 1 point to the road, and Radojo gets a bit of a sigh of relief as he gets a meeple back. Lycos is impatient. He decides to finish Radojo's road, but I don't think this is what he should have done. Radojo gets 3 points for a road. Lycos is going to continue the city.
By the way, red drew all the 3 daggers that green needed. So
exactly,
in case, in case red blocked the monastery with the straight road, that monastery would have been blocked as well, because you need the same dagger for both tiles. Monastery earlier in the game, I mean.
Yeah, great points indeed. Well, we see as Lycos decided to drop the last meeple on the farm, which I don't disagree with, because immediately Lycos was able to finish his road and get a meeple back. Now, only minus 11 on the scoreboard, but he owns this 20-point city. And he also is about to own this field, as there are still plenty of tiles remaining that fit into this square. So Radojo will need a lot of magic to happen in order to win this game. But luckily for him, he has a good tile. He could go over here, meeple a 5-point monastery, and create some field attacking potential. He could go over here, meeple a 5-point monastery, and then maybe attack the square. He should meeple this, exactly. I love that move. It's simply scoring a lot of points. That's why it's so good. Lycos with an interesting decision here. He can either connect to the farm, or he can take 4 points over here, or he can take 4 points on the city and drop another farmer, but then make this square over here a little bit more vulnerable. Which is why, this is why like these giraffe necks are typically very, very awkward for farming, precisely because Lycos will need to make some sort of concession now. He's not counting. He was thinking that there was still a tile remaining that fits into this square, but there wasn't.
Yeah, I have to be quick. Yeah, that's not good. You have 2 minutes, so you have to count here. I suppose with 500 or 600 rating, you know what tiles are in the deck, but not that good counting here. By the way, red also drew both of the splitter tiles that green needed to attack the big ruin. There's now only one vertical splitter tile left, I think, to attack the ruin from the top, at the top.
Well, it's also possible to attack it with like a Dorito with the road, I guess. Okay, except that there's no Dorito with the road.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, there's maybe like a city cap with a crossroads, which we can use over here, and then try to connect with a regular Dorito, so that could work. But still, these attacking opportunities for the ruin are few and far between. Radohu decides to drop a farm and try to connect here through a crossroads, as Lycos limits that connection a little bit. Let's see, Radohu has the meeple advantage, and that's an excellent farmer over here, as we're gonna see, because there's still the vertical splitter, which goes over here, which will give him 4 points for a city and the entrance into this farm. This is an excellent find by the Slovak player, and with 28 points on the scoreboard, I think it looks like the winning move from the Slovak player. This is something that is very hard to deal with. Lycos continues his city at the bottom. Radohu gets a curvy tile, which doesn't have a very good use. Oh! Can we go over here and farm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's still one straight line remaining. And if we're really desperate, we can drop a farmer like this and connect through an unblockable spot near the monastery.
Very nice.
Actually, I think this is the correct move. And the reason why, even though it's only... oh, wait, actually, it's the wrong move because 1, 2, 3, 4... No, there's still one straight line, right? I'm not hallucinating. Yeah, I'm not hallucinating.
Yes, one straight one. Yes.
So the reason why this is such a good move, I think, even though it's only a 50-50 chance, it gives one extra game-winning tile. Because now Radohu will need to draw either a crossroads or the splitter, a vertical splitter, or something else. Oh, that's a lovely move. Look at this. A defensive move, as Lycos was about to place this tile over here and cut short this square, cutting off the access of this green meeple from the field. This could be the game-winning move for the Slovak player. Very, very precise.
Still 3 crossroads available, so it will be very hard to block that one, if not impossible.
I think it is still possible if he gets this tile over here. Yeah, if Lycos were to get the tile that Radohu just got, then this would have worked.
Exactly, yes.
Wait. Oh, but it's no!
No! Yeah, he missed an opportunity there.
Yes. No, there are no curves.
9, yes, okay.
But you and I are thinking about the same thing.
Exactly.
But also,
he is preventing green from that other meeple to join, maybe. But still.
I get that. Okay, Lycos now needs to find his strongest move, which is a super difficult find. The strongest move for Lycos is to go over here and meeple a 1 point... No, actually, no. What I'm talking about. It's just a 3-point road anywhere. I think that's the only move that's available. Yeah, just 3-point road. And Radohu is going to get a city tile, which he does not have a good use for. So this would have gone over here, which is why this move for Lycos was necessary. And I believe this should go to the green player simply because of his scoreboard lead. Some excellent field play by the Slovak player, even though some speed bumps at the start, as he, I think, unnecessarily conceded a 20-point ruin to his Guatemalan opponent. But then he managed to drop strategic farmers in a multitude of places, and at least one of these guys made through. Plus 11 confidence win. No, these two Slovak masters, Radohu and Mate 11, their field game is particularly strong. And if you want to win against these guys, you want to create positions without big fields. Not like that one. Well, let's see if Lycos tries a different approach in the decider duel, as the score is tied 1-1. And they are about to start their third game. So let's see. We might have a sneak peek at somebody else real quick. So we get news that Matisek also won the first duel. So Slovakia is going strong so far. Oh, actually, I think I did the wrong highlights. I typically like to highlight the strongest player in both teams in bold, and this is clearly Lycos in Guatemala and Mate in Slovakia. So sometimes some streams have balanced rosters, but this one does have a clear leader. How's Rene doing? Yeah, so they lost the first game.
Yeah, Volkestera also lost. So it's 4-1 for Slovakia now.
Right. And Radohu equalized. Well, anyway, we'll be witnessing other games a little bit later. I just want to, again, have a look at the decider of these guys, because they play very quick. They managed to play 2 games in just half an hour. This could be one of the shortest matches we've yet to see. Oh, and just as we joined the game, already 10 tiles have been played in under a minute, and Lycos managed to complete a nice 10-point city versus just a 4-point city by Radohu. So the Guatemalan will have a 9-point advantage on the scoreboard as he gets additional 3 points for the road.
Yeah, for the last tile of green, not this one, but the previous one, I would have placed it at the top, trying to overtake the big city, and have used for Doritos, big city tiles, but also splitter tiles.
Exactly, yeah, it's actually quite interesting to see that the Slovak player does not apply the principle of 2 cities, which is a relatively straightforward intermediate Carcassonne strategy concept. So maybe they just got a little bit upset that Lycos finished their 10-point city too soon, and there was a bit of a psychological thing, or maybe that was an oversight, or maybe that was just an extra conservative strategy by the Slovak player. Lycos decided to simply complete the connection at the top city to get out of harm's way, as Radohu was threatening to attack the city from above and threaten its complete takeover. Lycos now is going to drop a second farmer. Oh, I'm loving this. 4 points for the road and 2 farmers with lots of open squares. Radohu will now need to make a decision whether to fight for this field or not. He decides to fight for this field. So soon we're going to see a second farmer from green as well. Actually, Lycos, if he wants, he could drop a 3rd farmer over here right now, but I don't think that this field is big enough for this to worth to be doing. A better move is just to score 2 points over here. And or maybe you could start a city cap and then create some vulnerability against this square. So a variety of options possible, and this is exactly what he does. I like this move too. So Radohu was kind of forced to go to defend here. This is a subpar use of the tile. Now Lycos needs to not be afraid of scoring 4 points for the road over here. Yes, this would be letting the green farmer into the field, but the green farmer is going to get into the field by himself eventually. 13-point lead on the scoreboard. Radohu continues his city, which now looks quite promising. Lycos has a city of his own. Radohu is now 1 tile away from finishing the city completely, which is why we're expecting a block from Lycos. Now it's much harder to finish this city because there are only 2 tiles remaining that fit into this square. Radohu with a crossroads tile, and of course he can't take the 3 points at the top because this would create a blocking platform against his city, which is why he needs to settle for 2 points, with an added benefit of impeding the development of Lycos' city at the top, which, by the way, Lycos would have completed, but because of this thorn sticking into the city, which Radohu just put, the Guatemalan player will need to do something else. He still has control of the field, so he decides, oh, that's such a strong move. This is a great move by the... there's just so much depth to it. So he's starting a new city in his field, hoping to develop his field. And then he wants to finish this field with a city cap and drop a farmer. And this is unpreventable because if Radohu gets a curvy tile or tries to stick something into this city, then... immediately a blocking platform will be created against this square. So Radohu cannot put anything into this square. He'll just basically have to wait until until Lycos draws something over here. The blocking platform against the square has been created, but Radojo cannot draw a blocking tile, and Lycos, Lycos cannot draw a defensive tiles, and Radojo cannot draw a blocking tile. But like the red player has threats everywhere. He has a blocking threat over here. He has a city plus farming threat over here. He can develop the city on the left with Doritos, with the insurance from this 4-point road. I'm really loving the position of the Guatemalan player, and if the Slovak wants to come back into this game, there's some work to do. Interesting move.
Interesting move, but immediately punished. No! I would have done something else there. I would have continued the road and take 4 additional points.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I would have maybe dropped the farmer here. Just continued, just finished that city up top. Oof, Lycos, uncomfortable move. Well, I think he needs to take care of the city cap. No, he doesn't. Oh! Radohu chose to block the square instead of defending his own. This is a very interesting gamble. I actually rather like it, but Lycos can put an end to the city right now. He can actually go over here. Okay, he decides not to do it. He decides to go for the farm first. Finishing his city up top. 4 more points to the scoreboard. 1 extra farmer on the field. Radohu gets 4 points for a city and also draws one of the 2 remaining starting tiles that Lycos needed for this square. Lycos with a scoring tile, which goes over here, if you ask me. And he finds the move, 2 points, making it harder for green to connect into this field and also putting some pressure against green's monastery. Green, 9 points behind on the scoreboard. He actually has an excellent tile. He can go over here and block this farmer, but he misses it. Instead, he drops a farmer off his own, so Lycos gets away with something. And look at this, Lycos continuing to blocking Radohu's farmer. Now the route through the right is blocked. There's only the route through the left remaining with a dagger tile, and there are only 2 dagger tiles remaining. Lycos decides to take quick points for the city, does not connect the farm just yet because there's still the opportunity to go through the other side. Radohu completes the connection on the left. Lycos gets the dagger, which Radohu needed over here and which Lycos needs over here. So that's a huge coin flip for the Guatemalan, which I believe should win him the game.
Exactly.
And he also meeples the road just to be cheeky. 26 points ahead on the scoreboard, and also this meeple is now blocked as the last tile that would have fit into this square has been just drawn by the Guatemalan. Radohu's not giving up. He drew the other dagger, which got his farmer into the field, and at least temporarily now Radohu has the majority on the field, but the field is not big enough to be worth even fighting for. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities on it, so there's like 18 points. But Lycos has a little city of his own. He can like take 4 points calmly and then do something else and just simply relax.
Yes, this should be a typically field is win here, I think, for Lycos.
Ah, he's trying to lose. He's trying to lose.
He's trying to lose indeed.
Ah, yeah. I think Lycos is decreasing his winning chances. He's still the favorite, but it's unnecessary to drop the city caps in such a big field because, like, Radohu's desperate. Radohu's 26 points behind.
Not like this, not like this. There are still 3 monasteries left, so why not prepare for finishing your monastery with another monastery?
Maybe he just decides that the field's gonna be enough and he just wants to get meeples back soon simply to attack the field. Maybe that's the logic. And there's still plenty of curve remaining. But watch, he's gonna like draw a monastery next turn and he's gonna be kicking himself. Well, Lycos, the one who draws the monastery, decides not to meeple it, which I agree with. Gets a meeple back, furthers his scoreboard lead, while Radohu now farmer, maybe? At the top, through a straight line. Like, it's time to do something crazy like this, I think. You go here, you drop a farmer, then you get a curve, you get a meeple back, you get a straight line, you get a city cap to score 6 points for the city, you get a road end to score 5 points for the road, like a bunch of things like this. But instead, Radohu just kills off an entry point for the field, at the same time killing off Lycos' meeple over here. Well, not that this meeple mattered a lot. So the Guatemalan actually now needs to If he wants to play a field game, let him play a field game. He can go over here. Ah, no, he can't. Can he drop a farmer somewhere good? Oh, yes, here. Why not? Why don't we go over here? This is like an unblockable field connection. It's beautiful. Up top. And there's an option to connect through this square and through this square. And I'm pretty sure that the Guatemalan captain should see this move. He's thinking about it, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, putting that splitter tile in the big field, I would not have done it because red is 4 points ahead, even if green has the field, if I counted correctly. So I would go for a fieldless win here. I would even, for example, put the curve. No, that's a silly move, what I wanted to suggest. Your move is great. It's a 3-point field anyway. But he's trying to...
I think he's trying to be fancy a little bit. That is the problem. Because Radohu can... Yeah, like Radohu could have drawn another curve and just simply gotten this meeple back. So it's not a move that does a lot, really. The field is now technically equal, but Radohu will attack this field one more time. Okay, Lycos now gets a beautiful tile, which allows him to either score quick points and drop a farmer. Just go for quick points. Don't make this.
Yes, the way to lose here is to finish a city in the big field and drop a farmer and lose the field. So don't do that.
Well, in the meantime, thanks to our viewers, we get news from table number 2, where Matej Tabak predictably defeated his opponent without much resistance, and in a crucial duel on table 4, Speed defeated Illusions with 2-0, which means that Slovakia is 1 game away from winning this match, which means that Guatemala, in order to win this match, needs to win every single game from now on. And the way Lycos is planning to win every single game is to drop another farmer and try to threaten a 4 farmer into the field, which ain't a bad move, I think. Maybe a bit unnecessary. Outcraft, I agree, I would have gotten for the fieldless win here. But the Guatemala has shown that they don't want a fieldless win after the splitter move. It was abundantly clear they just want to get a majority or at least parity onto the field, and this is how they're going to play. Well, Lycos now can continue the plan, which they started earlier. They draw the last remaining crossroads. So if they go over here, then Radohu will never ever fill the square. And so he'll never ever get this monastery meeple back. Which means he'll never ever get a field majority because Radohu has only 1 extra meeple to attack with. And Lycos is about to get a +1 majority on the field when he connects over here. And so the best Radohu can hope for is equality, which means that in order for Radohu to win, he first of all needs to make sure that this red meeple somehow doesn't make into the field. And then he'll also need to drop a farmer on his own. This is a big task, but we've seen weirder tile runouts. But now this game is over as Lycos draws the road monastery that gets him the majority on the field. And the best that the Slovak player can hope for is equalizing the field with the 1 remaining meeple that he has. But this is not going to be enough because of the 25-point lead on the scoreboard. Radohu is saying thanks for the game, realizing that the game is actually over, and we're just witnessing a formality here as Lycos gets 2 extra points on the scoreboard. Radohu even decides not to attack the field, realizing the uselessness of this endeavor. Takes a 6-7 point monastery, which is a bit defeatist if you ask me, but what can you recommend? It doesn't really matter whether you lose this game with a 50-point difference or with a 20-point difference. Radohu gets a straight line to add 1 monastery point, and Lycos probably is going to add a monastery point soon enough.
Meanwhile, I'm checking the other games.
Yeah, Lycos also found a way to finish this endgame precisely, adding 1 extra monastery point and meepling a 4-point ruin at the bottom. And in just 43 minutes, we have an entire duel played. Indeed, as some of my viewers are saying that they're playing as if it's a blitz match. Well, if both players are playing fast, then this means that the mind games work in favor of the person who wins. So Lycos had the correct strategy of playing fast, and Radoho's choice to play fast was mistaken. Convincing plus 37, and Guatemala gets on the match scoreboard finally, and they still have hope. In order for Guatemala to win, Forkestera needs to defeat Thomas from Slovakia, and René Bursara needs to defeat Matisek twice. But will that happen? That's the question.
The game of Matisek, only 3 tiles remaining. It's hard to evaluate because it's a big field with a lot of finished cities in it.
Well, at least if we look at the scoreboard, then the Slovak player is doing quite well with plus 14. So maybe René will need to drop some farmers to win this game. Well, let's actually have a look. This is not a hard position to analyze because there's so many farmers, right? So plus 13 for green on the scoreboard. Green, that's Slovakia. 1 city point for René, so that's plus 12. 4 city points for Marisek, so that's 16. René drops a farmer. How we're doing for farmers? Red has 1, 2, 3, 4, and Matisek has 1, 2, 3, 4, and just dropped a 5th one. So I think René needs to risk hard and maybe go over here, drop a farmer, and hope for a curve, no? And hope that Matisek does not draw a curve over here, but I think that's not what he needed to do.
Okay. I think Red is currently in the lead by 3
Really?
points. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Oh, did I miscount the field? Because there's also the city, by the way, by green, which I didn't notice.
Didn't he have to block somewhere? No. Oh, but there's a straight line, and now Matisek connects to the big field.
Yeah.
So the meeple of Matisek at the bottom was definitely a mistake because there were no tiles left to make the connection. I think. Oh, maybe the city cap that Red played right after it, but
No. That wasn't a good tile for green. Yeah, that was a mistake for sure. But yeah, because the field is tied, it is the Slovak player who's going to win. So the game-deciding tile was actually this road. Yeah, plus 18 for Matisek. And
yeah, it was a
2-0.
24-point field.
And with that, Slovakia wins Guatemala to disappoint the majority of my viewers, but to please a minority of my viewers too. Well, for the first time in a few minutes, we're going to hear the Slovak anthem for the first time ever on this stream to congratulate the team on their first team against a fierce opponent. I mean, an upset on board 5 from Lycos that certainly will be remembered, but we still have one more game to watch between Forkestera and Tomáš from Slovakia, because remember, it's not just the score, it's not just the results matters, but the score also matters for tiebreakers in the tournament situation. So where was that? Let me just do it like this. Forkestera. They're playing their decider against Tomáš. They are high rated, but I do believe that's because Tomáš is new to Board Game Arena and they haven't simply played all that much. Well, this is an equal position. Forkestera 4 points ahead of the Slovak. Tomáš has a meeple which is about to get blocked. I mean, technically he could defend his 6-point monastery right now, but I wouldn't do this. I would just simply cut the losses, but he does try to defend. Oh, maybe he's gonna drop a farmer. I would, because this field here, like, look at this black meeple and red meeple. This field is really open and it already has 3 completed cities on it, so it's gonna be worth at least 9 points. So that's why, as red, I would have dropped a farmer over here, trying to connect either through this curve like this, or like this through a city cap tile, and there's still 4 vanilla city cap tiles left that fit into that square. Before this move I liked red's position, but I think now Forcas Terra could go over here and block this monastery completely. I do believe it's worth spending the city cap on a block.
Or you could also meeple the extender at the right, or try to finish your big city, because the big city tile is still in the game, and he goes for the latter one. I don't really like it, but it has... Yeah, he could finish this one, and it will give black a lot of points.
Yeah, well, Tomasz is starting. I think he could, and also in some scenarios he actually gets the 4th quadruple city tile, so we might need to look for that motif. Okay, well, Tomasz gets a city cap which goes over here or over here. Actually, which is why as Tomasz I wouldn't have started a city here, I would have started a city here instead, trying to finish it a little bit later. And so now he'll need to choose between this square and this square. Actually, this square is also super vulnerable because 2 dagger tiles have gone out, and if Forcas Terra, for example, gets a 3rd dagger like this, he's gonna go over here, face the city cap upwards, and then make it so that this Slovak has no tiles at all that can help him finish his city. But Tomasz is thinking about the prioritization here.
You could even try to save your monastery, or attempt to save it for a coin flip, but I think taking the points of your 6-point city is the best move.
Yeah, just to get that meeple out of harm's way, because there's still gonna be okay, so there's gonna be still 3 tiles that remain there. That's also a completely legit move, trying to create multiple threats. Now Forcas Terra probably will be tempted to go over here and pre-finish his city, but no, he decides to attack Tomasz's city first. Tomasz with a straight line, now gonna need to think what to do. He could continue his road, he could save his monastery, which is a strong move. Nice move by Tomasz, or he could have meepled this empty road piece, and now...
No, not like this. You have to play for the quadruple city tile. You have to...
He needed to turn it the other way, of
Exactly.
course. Oh, that would have been so beautiful, because then, if red would have drawn the quadruple city tile, red would have been forced to play into that square. Well, now it's not going to happen as Forcas Terra. Yeah, I know, but like, what else is he's gonna do? He has to score the road points. I mean, I wonder why nobody is scoring this 6-point road. Maybe when Tomasz claims it now, finally Forcas Terra will notice, oh, what was I doing? There was a 6-point road in this position.
Yes. I would pre-finish my big city.
I think so, yeah. As the red player has a slight advantage, I was gonna say, because of these roads, then it's maybe good to try and create basically a 50% winning chance in this position. But there can be some other good moves, for example, going over here, taking 2 points for the road, pointing the city cap downwards, creating a vulnerability, a very, very strong vulnerability against Tomasz's city, limiting the number of tiles that can be used to complete this city to just 1, so that is an option as well. Helge is saying that there are too many empty-looking monasteries on the board. I have to completely agree. Well, this monastery was probably completed by one of the players. This one we saw was completed by another player, but this 7-point monastery unmeepled, this certainly looks too painful. You gotta... Oh! Oof. Of the pain.
That hurts.
That hurts.
My eyes.
I know. So this is by far the biggest mistake that we've seen today, because it's basically just burning a meeple for nothing. There was no need to place the meeple at all. I mean, the move to pre-finish the city was good, but why spend the meeple? If Forcas Terra doesn't get the quadruple city tile, these 2 guys will be trapped, and if Forcas Terra gets the quadruple city tile, well, then everything's great. There was no need to use this meeple at all. So this is
He saw 6 points for the city in case he doesn't draw the quadruple city tile, but
well,
yeah,
6 points is not a worthy investment of
exactly.
of the meeple on such board. Like the price of a meeple is at least 12 points, I would say, based on the size of the field. Like on this board, meeples are precious.
Oh, very good tile placement there from Tomasz, preventing black from joining the big field.
Beautiful, like strong move from Tomasz. It's definitely way stronger than 183 rating was suggest. So then again, I think Tomasz is just simply new to board game arena, but also a strong move from Forcas Terra, as I have to agree that this is the one moment where it's good not to meeple a monastery and use it as a field tile, because he's now threatening to connect over here, and he's threatening to connect over here as well, and to loop these guys into the field like this and to gain a majority. Yeah, Forcas Terra is going for the field strategy. Tomasz is also deciding to fight for the field. He, just like the other Guatemalan player, Lykos, in the previous game, uses the same shieldless extender to drop a farmer, which is usually risky business, but it seems to be working out for him just now, as the last monastery has been just drawn by Forcas Terra, and he has a wealth of 3-point roads which he can meeple over here, over here, over here, over here. Decides to go for this road.
As black, you really have to make the connection, because any city tile will permanently block your field meeple at the left.
I agree. Yeah, so this square is actually super vulnerable. If Tomasz gets anything like a city cap or a Dorito tile, places it over here, then this square will be completely blocked, and this meeple will be trapped with just 3 points. Forcas Terra now gets a great city cap tile, which goes over here to annoy this city meeple. Oh, and Tomasz going for the ninja farmer, trying to connect through the outside of a curve, and actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is sort of justified because there's only one blocking tile available for Tomasz, for Forcas Terra to prevent this connection, and only and plenty of curves for Tomasz to complete this connection. So I like this move by Tomasz, but I think this was a bit of a waste of a city cap by Forcas Terra. Actually, he should have taken 4 points over here. And also, as you said, Craft Giraffe, this farmer needed to go into the field a little bit earlier, and Tomasz very wisely punishes black for his hesitancy, now blocking this farmer permanently. So tough game for Forcas Terra. I mean, he's gonna need to draw the quadruple city tile to bail him out of his initial mistake with the city, but even then it's not guaranteed that he's gonna win, because Tomasz is likely to use his temporary meeple advantage to secure a stronghold on the field. He's gonna get a city cap and drop a farmer over here, which is why Forcas Terra is trying to prevent that. But Tomasz now gets 4 points for the road and gets the farmer into his field. Wonderful sequence by the Slovak player. Really strong play. And the Guatemalan player needs to do something about this. And he decides to drop a farmer. Really nice find.
Yes, indeed.
There's still plenty of tiles that allow him to the connection, virtually unblockable. So very nice spatial vision by the Central American here. It's still much earlier. I think it's still broad daylight in Guatemala comparison to late night in Slovakia. So maybe that's why Forcas Terra is still not sleepy and has clear vision and is able to see all these connection spots. So the Slovak player, well, he draws a fantastic tile which allows him to complete his city. But will he do that, or is he eyeing something else? I think he might be actually tempted to go over here and drop a farmer. I noticed how the Slovak player likes his field meeples. Well, maybe not just here. Don't drop a farmer, because this square was already blocked.
Yes. You can loop around from the left to the field with this curve.
What do you mean?
Put the curve down. You want
Ah,
left, top
top
left.
left. Yeah, a farmer here. Yeah, that could work. But instead, he just simply decides to try to block Folkestera, and well, Folkestera immediately draws a field connection tile, and surely he will connect because he now clearly sees the reminder about this meeple, and the connection has been completed. No other farmer, and also no quadruple city tile for Tomasz. Tomasz is not gonna go over here, and Folkestera is going to have his two meeples painfully trapped. And he deserves that.
Yeah, now it's game over, I'm afraid.
You
Field
think
is
so?
equal. No, field is equal. 2, 4, 6, 7 points and 10 for black. So 4 points, 6. I think 13 points or so.
I know,
Is
but black can still attack the field. Maybe black can go
against,
like over here and do the move that you suggested with a couple of curves, which I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 still exist.
yeah,
Ah, there are
but
8 curves. Oh, but there's less some curvoids.
I would let him have the field and take quick points with my 2 remaining meeples. But
like,
now he's creating a big city.
yeah, so that's the idea. I mean, Thomas drops a farmer trying to get the majority on the field. Or this is like normally a good strategy because now Forkestera needs not only to get a farmer himself, but also somehow try and prevent this farmer from getting in. The downside of his strategy is that it leaves a 10-point city up for grabs for either of the sides, and so Forkestera could absolutely take advantage of that. But the thing that you're saying, ooh, lovely move, as Tomasz was going to take 10 points for the city. Folkestad decided to take the city for himself, and now he hopes to draw a city cap, get 12 points for the city, get his meeple back, and then use his last meeple to attack the field. And this may be the path to win for the Guatemalan. But Thomas just calmly takes 4 points for the city and 3 points for his field. 18 points on the scoreboard. Folkestad gets a city cap, but of the wrong kind. He cannot finish his farmer, unfortunately.
And now you see why it's important to have that meeple not being trapped in the big city, but in your hand instead. He could have used it.
Yeah, either for quick points or for field connection attack. Still, all is not lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still a regular vanilla city cap, and if Folkestad draws the vanilla city cap on his very next move, then he can still try to connect to the farm and win. Okay, Folkestad gets a straight line, which is great. Yes, it's a defensive plan, but it's not going to be enough because he really needed to draw the meeple first.
Exactly.
It is now 29 degrees in Chile, as Rene is saying, which is not hot at all. So, not enough an excuse for meeples like this. Maybe it was like 45 degrees. Maybe I could say, okay, that's understandable. But no, this is something that needs to... That Folkestad needs to be roasted, well, in a friendly manner during team practice.
Yes. Yeah, big margin now for Tomasz. And no possible way to win the game for Folkestera.
Yeah, there's a way to reduce... Well, actually, there's a way to reduce the score difference a little bit. He's gonna get the city cap here, and then maybe he's gonna like meeple a 5-point truant, something like this. Because I believe this field's connection is now closed. Because I don't think there's a straight line remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's no straight line remaining. No crossroads. No starting tiles. Yeah, so this square is covered completely.
It's the last Dorito, so you don't need to create a diamond shape at the right, I think. But just take 5 points here, I think. This is only 4, if I counted correctly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, not finishable.
Oh, there wasn't a city cap remaining. I can't see the last vanilla. Oh no, there was a city cap remaining.
Okay.
Oh no! Folkestad blocked his own city! Oh, this has to hurt so bad!
Yes.
Black prevented himself from completing a city. That like cost him 6 more points. Oh, poor Folkestad. Because like this move was so good. Like risking this last meeple of 2 city caps remaining, this is what he had to do. But then if you're gonna make a move like this, then just hope for the actual city caps. Oof. A lot of vicarious pain in this game, but you know, this is the only way you learn, through pain like this, and a lesson by this also like credit to the Slovak player with under 200 rating. I think they played really strong, controlled all the field entry points, pretty much controlled the game at all times. Maybe some moves were like a little bit too conservative to my taste, but overall I really liked like what the player with the red meeples did. So somebody's suggesting that Folkestad epic move with the over meepling of the city over here was a misclick. I don't think it was. I have a feeling that this was his actual intention. Like, he might have realized after this what they have done, but I'm pretty sure that was intentional, or at least I want to think that was intentional.
Yeah, because if you click, what are you clicking on then? On the road? 2-point road?
Yeah. Well, maybe to the 2-point road. I'm not sure. Maybe on the field. I'm not sure if the field was meepled at this point. Maybe the field wasn't meepled.
Yeah,
so
the field was meepled at that point, I think.
All right. So time to update the score. And now a very convincing win for Team Slovakia. Slovakia defeats Guatemala 4-1. They now got their first win in the tournament, and they still have to play Croatia. It's going to be a really tight match between Slovakia and Croatia. I'm not sure who is going to win between these two Slavic countries. Slovakia with a bit more experience, but Croatia with a very strong team captain, and you know, they already have achieved 1 win against Guatemala. So you do indeed think that it was to meeple the field. I don't think so. I think it was meant to meeple that city. I want to think that that's the case, because it's more entertaining when somebody makes such a mistake on purpose than when it is just a misclick. So I am preparing as usual the congratulations for the winning team. It's gonna require just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, feel free to drop questions in the chat for our special guest Craft Giraffe, whom we will be seeing again, I'm pretty sure, but as you heard from the start, Raf is pretty busy, so limited amount of time available for us. Just make sure that you have your questions now. As for future streams, Italy, this week I'll be a bit busy. It will be a bit more scarce than usual, but on Wednesday I'm streaming what is going to be a very close match between Italy and Romania, Wednesday European evening. Zvonimir is asking, who do you think is the strongest team? Oh no, which group do you think is the strongest in this tournament? So before you answer, let me just put up the group so that you can see on the table. So well, you can see some of them on the screen. let me just... I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. No, then it's too little. Anyway. Actually, I'm just gonna leave this alone. So here are some of the groups that you can see. 6 groups of 6 teams. So what's your take on this, Raf?
I think Group B. United Kingdom, Romania, Italy, Netherlands, Ukraine, also a very strong team. Ukraine, in my opinion, one of the favorites before the start of the tournament. But they apparently lost 2 matches already. United Kingdom in the lead, very strong group. Greece is a bit the underdog, I think. Although they also have very strong players like Asetos and others. So yeah, I think Group B is the strongest group.
Well, that was an unequivocal answer, so you heard Crafty. All right, and now you can keep them questions coming, but now it's time to congratulate Team Slovakia on the first win in this tournament, so all rise for the national anthem of Slovakia. Congratulations to Slovakia on this win. Thank y'all for sticking around. Make sure to meeple the like button if you enjoyed the outcome or the process or anything about this match. Make sure to subscribe if you're witnessing this for the first time, and if you want to see more competitive content, Carcassonne content like this, and if you're feeling extra generous, I have enabled the super thanks button for this channel. For those of you who can afford it, that would also be much appreciated. I am going to see y'all on Wednesday for the next stream. Yes, thanks Elias, thanks Misozak from the kind words, and thank you so much Raf for sticking around for this stream and offering your commentary. We're now going to let you go for all your data science so that you're fresh, so that you can record your streams in the what is called, it's called Spreaders of the Game tournament, but I think it's sort of a translation from Spanish. It sounds better from Spanish because Divulgadores sounds better than Spreaders. I just call it the Streamers Championship to make it more vernacular, even though not all participants are streamers, but most of them are streamers. That's an invitational tournament. I have also covered a little bit on my channel, but this is something that's happening for a very, very long time. It's actually a tournament that's going to last 10 months. It started in January. It's scheduled to finish in late October or early November as well. So this is something that will feed our most hungriest viewers, who will be still hungry for content after the World Team Carcassonne Championship is over. But in the meantime, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.